Young Lions Attack, written by Andrew Mackay, narrated by Angus Freathy. Chapter 1. What the? The snowball scored a direct hit on the man's head, and he shivered as the freezing fragment slipped underneath his collar and slid down his back. Where the hell did that come from? Fascist scum, get off our streets! Smash the BUF! Over there in the garden, his companion pointed. Two boys suddenly broke from cover, where they had been hiding behind a hedge, and took off down the path that led towards the rear of the house. "Catch us if you can!" the taller boy taunted. "After them!" the first man ordered angrily. "What are we going to do when we catch 'em?" "Teach 'em a lesson they won't forget," he growled. "Are they still following us?" the taller boy asked as he ran. "They're right behind us," his shorter friend replied. "Good! We'll lure 'em into our trap." The snowball man came to an abrupt halt when he saw where his quarry had led them. "What is it?" the other man asked as he stopped running. "I'm not going in there." The first man shook his head vehemently as he looked at his watch. "It's 5:15, and it'll be pitch black in 15 minutes. The second man sighed with impatience. "Listen, mate, do you want to teach these boys a lesson or don't you?" "All right, but only until 5. I don't want to be chasing them around there in the dark. If we haven't caught them by then, I want to call off the hunt." "Fair enough. Lay on, Macduff." "Here they come," the shorter boy whispered as he hid behind a thick-trunked tree. "Like lambs to the slaughter," his companion said as he drew and cocked his pistol. "Not until they're on top of us." "Yes, strength and honor. Strength and honor." Snowball ducked instinctively when he heard the sudden burst of machine-gun fire. "Looks like someone beat us to it. Let's go." The two men ran through the wood with their schmeissers tucked into their shoulders at the ready. The SS sergeant placed his hand on top of the storm-trooper's rifle and gently pushed it towards the ground. "Ja, it's all right, Durchschmidt. The Askaris, look." Durchschmidt took his finger off the trigger and flicked on his safety catch as he saw the two men emerge from the forest. "Hail Joyce!" The first black-shirt saluted with an outstretched arm as he approached the Germans. "Oh, I see you caught our prey, Scharführer. You have our thanks." He gave a curt bow. "Ja, because I'm red-handed." The Nazi smiled as he showed the young militiaman 2 Luger pistols. "They were concentrating on capturing you so much that they didn't hear us sneaking up on them from behind." "Mind you, what do you expect from a pair of stupid Jew-loving red bastards?" Snowball sneered. "I'd rather be a Jew-lover than a Nazi-lover, Adolf," the taller boy blurted out. The black shirt viciously kneed the prisoner in the balls. The boy collapsed to the floor and clasped his wounded testicles. "Not so lippy now, are you, boy?" Durchschmidt stepped forward. "There was no call for that, Tommy. They're prisoners, they're children." Snowball shook his head. "They're terrorists, my German friend. They are dirty, Jew-loving Bolshevik terrorists, and they need to be swept aside like the Romans swept aside the Jews of old. We are fighting a civil war here, and there's no room for mercy or compassion." The other militiaman nodded in agreement. "Now we're going to have to teach these two communist swine a lesson." He cocked his machine gun. "Pick up Trotsky, short-ass." "No, wait a minute," Durchschmidt protested. The SS sergeant grabbed his arm. "It's not our fight, son. You only arrived recently. The Askari is right. Fighting partisans is a nasty business. There's no room for sentimentality." "But—" "Leave it." The Nazi squeezed Durchschmidt's arm with a vice-like grip. The shorter guerrilla helped his injured companion to his feet. "Any last words?" Snowball asked casually. "God save the king!" the two boys shouted defiantly. The black-shirts opened fire, and the two Germans collapsed to the ground. The partisans stood with mouths gaping wide open with shock, confusion, and relief. "If you wouldn't mind doing the honours, mate?" Snowball asked. "Don't mind if I do." The second militiaman drew his pistol from the small of his back, cocked it, flicked off the safety catch, and shot the sergeant once in the forehead. A geyser of blood spurted from the Nazi's shattered skull and stained the snow bright red. You! Durchschmidt rasped through bloody lips as he gasped his last breath. "You're not black shirts, you're partisan."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?